Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. Today we're going to have a tutorial video for our Common Test Question 2 February 2017, where we are going to discuss how to answer questions on our topic Malaysian Conceptual Framework for Financial Reporting. Malaysian Conceptual Framework for Financial Reporting, and this is question 2 from exam February 2017. Okay. The objective of general purpose financial reporting prescribed in the conceptual framework is to provide information about reporting entity. So that's the objective. That is useful to existing and potential investors, lenders, and other creditors. So the objective is that. And then if you see here, to provide information about reporting entity. To whom? To the existing potential investor, lenders, and other creditors about making decision, of providing resources to the entity. So you are asked not to explain everything, but you're just asked to explain this information on reporting entity. So that one is a direct question. So what is information on reporting entity? Information on reporting entity refers to information on financial position, which is on the information on liabilities, equity, and assets. Assets are economic resources, and the claims to the asset, which is the liabilities and equity. So that one is for 3 marks, and that also includes this information on financial performance, which is regarding the effect of the transaction, which is income and expenses, and other event that change reporting entities, economic resources and claims. So information on financial position is on the SOFP. Information on financial performance is in the SOPL. Next. Okay, question 2B. The Malaysian Accounting Standards Board's Conceptual Framework for Financial Reporting identifies faithful representation as one of the fundamental, you have learned in the lecture that it is the fundamental qualitative characteristic. One of the fundamental qualitative characteristic is faithful representation. Another one is relevance for information to be useful to the user. You are asked to explain briefly the characteristic of faithful representation. So meaning that what are the ingredients of a faithful representation? How do you say that information are being provided faithfully, represented faithfully? That was for 3 marks. So this is directly from the textbook, directly from the notes. The first one is completeness. So when you state the word completeness, or the term completeness, you will already get one marks for it, and you need to explain. And that one will include whatever all information. When you say complete, mean all information is complete when it has description and explanation. Description and explanation by way of notes to the account, or by way of the significant accounting policies that are normally accompanying the financial statement. So these are necessary, information that are necessary for what? For users to understand the phenomenon. So the economic phenomena, or the so-called events, business events, so-called transactions. Second one is neutrality. Neutrality means it is prepared without bias. No bias, not slanted towards information needs of one particular users group at the expense of another. It should be neutral. That is neutral in terms of the selection of, and also the presentation of the information, presentation of assets, liabilities, equity, income, and expenses. The third one is that it must be free from error. Free from error means there are no errors or omission in the process of preparing financial statements. So meaning that all the standards have been complied with, or they have taken all necessary steps to ensure that information are not being omitted. Information are being faithfully represented. Next, that one is for 3 marks. Okay, next question, which is in the same question, next part, measurement is about measurement. So it's also in the chapter in the conceptual framework. It was like focusing a lot on this part. Measurement is concerned with how much. How much mean how much is, let's say, the value of an asset or a liability. How much entity allocates to the amount recognized as element. Be careful, elements are asset, liabilities, equity, income, and expenses. But here they recognize elements not only in the statement of financial position, but also in the also in the income statement. Income statement is another name for statement of financial performance. So let's look at, okay, what are the measurement bases? So the question asks you to just list. When you are just asked to list, you don't have to explain. These means simply state. What are the measurement bases? So from the lecture, you know that it is having historical costs. Yeah, historical cost. Just mention the word historical cost. And then the second one is current value. And under the current value, it includes fair value. You don't have to explain, just mention, just state it. Value in use for asset, and fulfillment value for liabilities. And another one under current value is the current cost. Next, this is the last part of the question. Millions Berhad has several branches of bookstore in Malaysia. So that is the business, is a business of having a bookstore. Yeah. So it's that would be the inventory of the company. The board of directors of the company are contemplating to diversify its business into rental and retailing of photocopy machines. So they now not just want to sell books, but they also want to venture into rental and retailing of photocopying machine. So the accountant of the company has proposed. So the word here is has proposed the acquisition of 20 units of photocopy machines. So they propose to buy photocopy machines. Remember, they want to have it being held for rental. So 10 units are to be rented out. 10 units to be rented out. Okay. Let's see what you have here. Okay. 10 units to be rented out. Oh, something wrong here. Never mind. 10 units are to be rented out, and okay, and to the customer, while the remaining units are held for sale. So meaning to say that remaining units here refers to the remaining 10 units. The machines that are to be rented out are estimated to generate income. So there is a potential to produce economic benefit for a period of 10 years. As at the year end, no action has been taken, meaning that it was just a proposal without any action being taken, right? Right, let's see what we can write here. So no action is being taken, no action taken. No action are being taken. So when no action is being taken, it simply means that it was not yet being acquired. So in accordance to the conceptual framework, you are asked to define asset. So the question only asks you to define asset for the first part, define asset. So when you are asked to define asset, you need to define in accordance with the conceptual framework definition. So no action has been taken on the proposal, but this one is just a general question, this part here in D1, but this statement or the scenario given in paragraph D here is related to the second part of the question. So if you were to define asset, your definition must mention about the word economic resources control, which is from the definition in the conceptual framework. And controlled by whom? Controlled by the entity. The entity here refers to the reporting entity as a result of past event. So there must be a past event that leads to you to have that control. You meaning that you purchase, let's say, the photocopy machine. If you have purchased, then only it becomes your resources that you have the control over it. And it is also a right that has the potential to produce economic benefits, like the case of photocopying machine. If it is purchased, it will have the potential to produce rental income to the company if the photocopying machine is being leased, for example. But here, it was just a proposal. Next, you have to discuss whether the photocopy machines are assets to the company. So the issue is whether or not it is an asset. To see whether it is an asset or not to the company, you need to first look at whether the definition is met. Ask yourself whether the definition is met. And also look at whether the criteria for asset definition is being met. So here, if you look in the statement, you are informed that the accountant only has proposed the acquisition. They have not even acquired, or they have not even sent off any order, or they have not even received the machine yet. So it was just a proposal where the photocopy machine was just meant for consideration of the board of directors. No decision have been made. So therefore, because it was just a proposal, it does not have the company does not have control. So meaning that the first criteria is not being met. Meaning to say that the criteria for having control is not being met. So the first criteria is not being met. Second one, yes, we have to see also whether or not the machines are as a result of past event. Here, it is not as a result of past event. Here, it does. The first one is there is no control. Second one is that it is not as a result of past event. Why? The machine have not yet been purchased. However, if the machine have been purchased, yes, there is a past event, right? Yeah, if the machine have been purchased, so it might also have satisfied the first point there. Here, meaning that it does not meet the definition of asset, but we still need to go through the criteria before we conclude whether or not it is an asset, because you are asked to discuss, right? Discuss. Okay, as the company has no control over the machine, so there is no potential of the machine to generate future economic benefits. So if you can still recall, you must have control, number one, but there is no control. It should be as a result of past event, number two. That is what in the lecture. And the third one is that it has a potential to generate future economic benefit. But in our case, all three are no. So no such asset actually. So therefore, because the criteria or for the asset are not being fulfilled, recognition criteria is not being fulfilled, so therefore it cannot be recognized as an asset of million. So photocopy machines are not an asset of million. Right? That's it for the first question. Catch me later with my other videos on common tests. With that, I'll see you when I will see you. Thank you for watching. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.